Welcome back. Talkin Hoopz on chataboutit.com, the only home for Talkin Hoopz. Call us at 877-242-8212. Ask us anything. Get all the basketball chatter from us, AJ, James, and DP. So check us out. And, check us out on iTunes. Get the podcast of the show. And right now, actually, we have a caller, Shelly from Brooklyn. Are you on the line?
Yeah, hi. How you doing?
Hey, Shelly.
How you doing, Shelly?
I'm doing okay. Listen, you guys are really, really good. You're really passionate. You know your stuff. But I want to ask you something. Do you think that women's basketball is ever going to be taken seriously? And if so, why or why not?
I mean, here's the thing with the women's basketball. I mean, as far as women's college basketball, I think it is taken seriously to a point, only because, and I don't mean to be sexist when I say this, but I mean, when you think of the NBA, when you think of college basketball, everybody is pretty much focusing on the men's college basketball. Now, I've been to WNBA games before. I've happened to watch some of the women's basketball games. I think Tennessee, they were phenomenal throughout the whole year.
Right.
Problem is, it's just, you know what it is? It's one of the only major sports. Basketball is the only major sport that really has a big women's following. So when you think that there's no women's football, there's no really women's hockey, and there's no women's baseball that has their own league. The WNBA does have their own league. So essentially, in answer to your question, Shelly, I think that women's basketball is taken seriously only because of the progression that it has occurred with women's basketball as opposed to the other three major sports.
I think there's also the negative side may be that there's also already fans of NBA teams. Now to add, let's say, the New York WNBA team, and Los Angeles has, LA Sparks. All these major cities have a WNBA team. But these people in these cities are probably fans of their NBA team already. Now to double up on the same sport with now, women's. There's actually, I think that it's not that there isn't interest in it. Will it grow? I'm not sure.
You know what it is? It's always going to be secondary, and it's an unfortunate situation because some of these female athletes are very talented. Granted, the game itself isn't really as progressive.
There was actually an attempt.
People like to see dunking. People like to see that type of stuff, and it's a different style of game. But as far as the progression of it, I mean, the NBA.
I think it has progressed though, because soccer. There was an attempted women's soccer league in the United States, and it failed. So the WNBA is still running and still drafting. I mean, female college players are outstanding. I mean, Connecticut, Tennessee.
And as far as I knew, it took at least 10 years, not to cut you off, DP, but it took you at least it took the WNBA 10 years to finally generate a profit. And now I believe it just finally profited. But you know what? The WNBA is here, and I don't think it's going anywhere right now. So
I think it's good for women to have a basketball league. I think it's good that they could be involved in sports and all that stuff. I do. I really believe that. But when you compare the WNBA to the NBA, it's hard to keep up because women can't do tomahawk 360 dunks, or at least yet they can't. I mean, you don't know what the future holds, but it's just not as exciting to me as watching an NBA game. I mean, some of these girls are really quick, but they're fun to watch.
Well, think about it. When's the last time you've seen a college men's team go undefeated 2 straight seasons?
Yeah.
Right, but
like
again, we're talking about a men's league with tomahawk dunking and all that other stuff.
But if that happened in a men's league, how much would we be talking
about?
It
would
be the talk of the town.
It would be the talk of the town. And
Definitely.
I do want to apologize real quick. I said Tennessee before. I meant UConn. I apologize.
Well, Tennessee is no
slouch either. But
forgiven. It's okay. Yeah. You're all good. It's okay.
But thanks for the call, Shelly.
Thanks, Shelly.
Appreciate it, Shelly.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Okay, so guys, the Cavs beat the Bulls. Cleveland beat the Bulls. They play the Celtics, and what's going on with the Cavaliers? What's their mindset right now?
I think their confidence is possibly the highest it's been all year. I mean, just like we were saying before about the Spurs, nobody wants to face the Spurs, regardless if the Spurs are the 8th seed or the 7th seed, just because of the experience. Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody wants to play Boston either. But I think LeBron's ready to take on Boston head on and take them down.
The thing with Cleveland is, whereas I think Boston has championship on their mind too, don't get me wrong, but other teams in the playoffs are just focusing on this current round and trying to, get to the next round. Cleveland is just thinking about championship.
Right.
If Cleveland does not win a champion, not even get into the finals. If Cleveland doesn't win a championship, it's a failed season to them. And that's what's on Cleveland's mind. That's what's on LeBron's mind right now. LeBron wants to have a ring for the king. That's his motto. That's been his motto the whole year.
Well, Shaq's motto for him.
Guys, but come on, what's so great about Cleveland?
You like it? You think Cleveland's cool? I mean, I never heard anybody say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation. I mean, what's so good about Cleveland?
What is? I mean,
First of all, I think you have a man crush on Joakim Noah or something. I think you're infatuated.
What's so good about him? Back-to-back MVP plays on that team.
oh yeah,
That's
but
what's so good about
I
him.
see why LeBron. I mean, yeah, it's his hometown and everything, but I feel like he's just gonna go at the end of the season.
Who knows? You want to know who knows what's going on in LeBron's head? I mean, right now he seems so focused on the court. Who knows what's going on in that kid's head?
I don't know, but what are your predictions for the Celtics and the Cavaliers?
I'd say Cleveland in 6. I don't know. It's gonna be a really good series. I actually do you guys think there's something possible of having too many options on your team, circa what's going on with Boston right now? Garnett, Pierce, Allen. Whereas 20 seconds ago, down by 1, it's Cleveland's ball. Who's it going to?
Yeah, but you know what?
Wait a
But you
minute.
want to know something? That's how they won the championship a couple of years ago, because of all those options.
And if you watch the game last night, look what happened to Boston. Boston was up. Boston was playing great.
Boston controlled 3/4 of that game.
Right. So I don't know how that. I think it just has to do with a guy named LeBron. I think that's what it comes down to. Guy named LeBron.
I think Boston could still win this series, and the reason why I think they could win this series is because Boston is a defensive-oriented team. They've got a lot of options. Rajon Rondo is getting a lot better. I mean, all he needs to do is develop that 10, 15-foot jump shot, but he's quick going to the basket. The thing with Cleveland is my beef with Cleveland is, as great as LeBron is, it's still a 1-on-5 offense. I know they won game 1, but it's still a 1-on-5 offense. And in the playoffs, when you're playing the same team in a 7-game series, especially a team like Boston, you can make the adjustments. We're talking about defensive oriented
Did you
guys
see
like
late in that game how Shaq was able to kind of assert himself a little bit onto Boston, whereas I don't see where the solution may be for Boston if Shaq was able to keep getting that deep.
Shaq is not the Shaq of old. So you know what? Yeah, he looked decent down the stretch, but 2-3 games later, he might be
right. He isn't the Shaq of old.
Credit to Shaq. He did have a good game last night. Actually, I caught him after the post game, and after everything anyone could ask him about the game, Charles Barkley just went. He just went out of nowhere, and I'll let you guys just hear this.
What are you laughing at, Chuck? You like that comment? I don't know. I loved it. Did you give up pork?